Hello and welcome to News 9. I am Shubhayan Chakravarti, joined by Nikhil Narayan to discuss the all-important match in the Indian Premier League between Mumbai Indians and Delhi Capitals. It is a decider of who will seal the fourth place in the points table. Will it be Delhi Capitals or will Mumbai Indians favour Royal Challengers Bangalore? Will Rohit Sharma's team help Virat Kohli's RCB to finish the fourth place? So that's going to be an interesting encounter, an all-important encounter. But the latest from the Wankhede Stadium is that Rohit Sharma and Mumbai Indians have won the toss and have opted to field first. Nikhil, what we are getting is that it will be a rain-affected match. It is already drizzling in the ground there at the Wankhede. So do you think that will change the equation here?
It could freshen up the pitch. It could freshen up the pitch, add more juice for the fast bowlers. But overall, I don't think it will affect the match that much. The rain, I think, has already stopped. It only adds to the drama of the match.
True.
You know, it was raining in Bangalore. They've sent some clouds from there to Mumbai. If the match is called off, Bangalore qualify.
Yep.
So, you know, all sorts of elements, rain also adding to the whole, you know, drama and excitement at the Wankhede Stadium in Mumbai. Overall, not a bad toss to win because chasing has been an advantage here.
Plus, if Duckworth Lewis comes into play, then obviously the chasing team will have that advantage.
Absolutely. And I'm also not quite surprised that MI are not resting their key players, which means they also sort of, you know, want to sort of not lose this match and at least finish on some high, you know, some...
Or avoid controversy.
Or avoid controversy. Oh, absolutely. So, interesting. Going to be a cracker-jacker of a match between two teams who've had an interesting neck-to-neck rivalry. Let's see what happens.
Absolutely. And Mumbai Indians have made two changes. Deval Brevis is back in place of Tristan Stubbs, and Hrithik Shawkin replaces Sanjay Yadav. So that's the latest. And here's the Mumbai Indians playing 11. Rohit Sharma, Jasprit Bumrah, and Tim David, all of whom we were expected to miss out from this match, are there in the playing 11. Tim David will be crucial in this match, but Deval Brevis has been slotted in for Tristan Stubbs, and of course Hrithik Shawkin comes in place of Sanjay Yadav. A good playing 11, a very competitive playing 11.
A very good playing 11. As I said, they're playing a full strength 11. Yep. I like the middle order. One destructive batsman after the other. Brevis, David, Sams, you know. And openers Rohit Sharma and Krishan. Remember, Mumbai Indians have nothing to lose. Whatever the target set by the Capitals, Mumbai Indians, you know, is going to go hard at it. So maybe now Delhi Capitals will have to sort of, you know, revise what they should score batting first. We had said before the match in a Hindi show that 165 could be a good target, but now that they're chasing Mumbai Indians with little bit with the rain around also, Duckworth Lewis into play favors the team batting second. I think maybe they have to increase by 175, 180.
Absolutely, and for Delhi Capitals, there's one big change. Prithvi Shaw is back in the playing 11, and that could change a lot of dynamics of how Delhi Capitals approach their innings. They are obviously batting first, so the role of Prithvi Shaw becomes even more important. And do you think that typhoid and whatever sickness he went in the last couple of weeks, that will affect Prithvi Shaw, or will he be the same Prithvi Shaw that we saw before he was out?
Well, temperamentally, Shubhayan, he'll be the same. I mean, he is an aggressive, destructive opening batsman. But physically, of course, he won't be there. He'll be a little weak. In fact, there were conflicting reports whether he's playing today or not. I think he's not fully fit. They're playing him because he is, you know, an X factor at the top of the order. Even if he scores 30 of 15 balls, he's given you the platform. So they're playing him because this is a do-or-die match for the Capitals, and they know how important Prithvi Shaw and that partnership Warner and Shaw are there at the top of the order.
Absolutely, and for Prithvi Shaw, they have dropped Lalit Yadav, who has had a good run for Delhi Capitals during the tournament. They have retained Sarfaraz Khan, who looked really good in the power play in the last game. So this is the Delhi Capitals playing 11, and Nikhil, the pressure will be on Henrik Nokia as well because he hasn't been the same Nokia we saw last season.
Absolutely. Two players who I think need to deliver in this match, Shubhayan, big match, are Rishabh Pant, who hasn't played a standout innings yet. Not yet won a match single-handedly for them, and Henrik Nokia, who hasn't done the same with the ball. Henrik Nokia was brilliant in the UAE leg of the 2021, but this season he hasn't intimidated the batsman with his pace. High time he delivers today with a bit of rain around, little freshness on the wicket. Maybe it is his day.
Absolutely, it is a do-or-die match for Delhi Capitals, and they have fared. They have done a decent job in this tournament so far, but the all-important match is against Mumbai Indians, the 5-time winners, the defending champions. champions who are likely to finish 10th, last in the points table. So they would be also itching to finish the tournament on a high. But Delhi Capitals, they need this win. They win, they qualify without any shadow of doubt. And if they lose, then Virat Kohli's Royal Challengers Bangalore will be up in that 4th position. So that's the scenario for Delhi Capitals and RCB there. And we'll take a look at the X Factor players as well, because there are some big name players, be it the power hitters, be it the pacers. There are many big name players in both Mumbai Indians and Delhi Capitals camp. So Nikhil, 2 game changes. I think one has to be David Warner for Delhi Capitals. The kind of matches, knocks he has played, 400 plus runs in this tournament. He has been absolutely sensational for Delhi Capitals.
Absolutely. Warner has continued from where he left in 2020. Last season it was not a good one for him with SRH, but with the exception of that, he's been brilliant in this tournament. For me, the greatest batsman ever in the IPL. 427 runs, averaging 53, strike rate 152. It's the 2nd highest strike rate for a top 3 batsman in this tournament after Rahul Tripathi. After Rahul Tripathi, 5 half centuries during the tournament. Very consistent. To be consistent, score big runs and strike at 150 is a lethal combination. True. And that is what David Warner has done in this tournament. He will be the player for Delhi Capitals. He will be the player.
Of course, and after the opening slot at number 3, Mitchell Marsh has been excellent in the last couple of games. Has brought Delhi Capitals his entire season back on track with his impactful knocks at number 3. So Mitchell Marsh will also be very crucial in this encounter, Nikhil.
Absolutely. Mitchell Marsh has raised his game in the last couple of matches when it mattered most. 250s, 2 high impact performances versus RR and PBKS in victories for Delhi Capitals. A big match player, Shubhayan. What he did in the player of the match performance in the final of the T20 World Cup last year. So Mitchell Marsh, lot of experience, big match. I'm expecting him to deliver today.
Absolutely. And in the bowling front, all the focus will be on Kuldeep Yadav. He's likely to be back in the Indian squad, but will he play a match-winning role for Delhi Capitals in this encounter? Kuldeep Yadav has been sensational, sitting 5th in the purple cap list with 20 scarves to his name. So Kuldeep Yadav has to be among wickets if Delhi Capitals are to do well.
One of the great stories of this tournament, Shubhayan, the revival of Kuldeep Yadav has been absolutely sensational. He was down and out of KKR, out of India, and now to take 20 wickets in the tournament at a strike rate of less than 15. Absolutely brilliant, controlling the middle overs, joint highest wicket taker in the middle overs, bowling faster. I think he's 6 high impact performances in 13 matches. Absolutely brilliant. That's 1 in every 2 games he's giving a high impact performance. Kuldeep Yadav is back, and Kuldeep Yadav is back with a bang.
Absolutely. And the other bowler who will be central to Delhi Capitals' success will be Khalil Ahmed. The kind of impact he has had with the new ball and in the middle overs as well, he has been absolutely sensational whenever he is playing and fit.
Absolutely. Khalil Ahmed has been a revelation with the ball. In the absence of Andrik Nokia, who was supposed to give them wickets with the new ball, but he did not, and they didn't have Rabada also. Khalil Ahmed has been their main pacer. So also Akshar Patel did not do well, hasn't done well in this tournament, and Khalil Ahmed has stepped into his shoes in the middle overs. So Khalil Ahmed, absolute revelation with the ball for the Capitals.
Absolutely. And for Mumbai Indians, all eyes will be on the hard-hitting Singaporean Australian cricketer Tim David. There are talks that he's likely to be called up by the Australian side ahead of the T20 World Cup, in the build-up to the T20 World Cup. But will he win a match for Mumbai Indians and help RCB qualify for the playoffs? That's going to be interesting. We are going to look at some of the stats of Tim David. He's absolutely there in our X-Factor players. The knocks he played against Gujarat Titans and Hyderabad, I think Mumbai Indians fans, RCB fans would be expecting a same kind of impact from David.
Absolutely. He's on a high, exciting talent. He did not start the tournament well, but he's come onto his own in the last stages of the tournament. Nothing to lose today, so he'll go all out. So watch out, Delhi Capitals. He is in the same mold as a Pollard and Hardik Pandya. Very, very destructive. One of the highest strike rates in T20 cricket history. It's in the 160s, Shubhayan.
Wow.
So although he must have played associate nations, but still to have that strike rate, he's going to be one of the stars for the future. If he plays for Australia, it's going to be fascinating.
Absolutely. And for Delhi Capitals, they have also a counter punch for Tim David. That's in the name of Rovman Powell. The kind of impact he has had. After, he started on a very poor note. He was not
Absolutely.
getting runs, but Rishabh Pant was persistent, kept on persisting with him at that finisher's role. And now Rahman Powell is showing what he's capable of.
Absolutely. Clearly the management knew something, which numbers only don't reveal. I mean, he failed in the first 5 to 6 matches, and we're all questioning that why is he being persisted with? He's wasting a spot in the 11. He's overrated, but then he showed, 4 high impact knocks, one after the other, striking, absolutely brilliantly in the death overs. He hasn't done well in the last couple of matches, but a big one is due. And today, no better, day than tonight.
Absolutely, a fascinating encounter is on cards. Delhi Capitals, the equation is simple for them. If they win, they are through to the playoffs. If they don't, then RCB fans and their players will be celebrating tonight ahead of their eliminator and the qualifying playoffs matches. But for those who are joining, let's take a look at the points table as well. This is how the points table, the top 5 is stacked up. The Gujarat Titans and Rajasthan Royals have already finished in the top 2. They will be locking horns in Kolkata in the qualifying 1. And the bottom half doesn't really doesn't matter, but we'll take a look at the first five teams in the points table. We'll take a look at the points table again, and here it is. RCB have a negative net run rate, so if Delhi Capitals win today, they will go through Nikhil. But
absolutely.
But can Mumbai Indians really derail their season, and last punch, can they play a party spoiler?
Well, the fact that Mumbai Indians is playing its full strength team shows that they're not going to give an easy walkaway to the Capitals. So Capitals will have to work hard. All pressure on the Capitals. Mumbai Indians have nothing to lose. They can be party poopers. So it's not going to be easy for the Capitals. I had said at the beginning of the show, if MI play a full strength team, it's going to be difficult for the Capitals. So, the game is on. Advantage chasing also, that's also goes against the Capitals. So it's going to be an interesting game. Capitals need to score runs, and therefore Warner and Shaw is extremely important in this match.
Extremely important. We'll take a look at what happened in the toss for all those who are joining. Mumbai Indians and Rohit Sharma won the toss and have opted to bowl first. That's the latest. It is likely to be a rain affected match, so that also makes this move a bit more special, given that the Duckworth Lewis method might come into play. They have put Delhi Capitals to bat at the Wankhede in their last league games, and Mumbai Indians have made 2 changes into their playing 11. Deval Brevis and Ritik Shaukin are back in the playing 11 in place of Tristan Stubbs and Sanjay Yadav, whereas for Delhi Capitals, the all-important opener Prithvi Shaw is back after a spell in the hospital in the sideline due to typhoid. So Prithvi Shaw is back in their must-win match, and surprisingly, after all the league matches, after all the tournament, rain has finally arrived, and it couldn't have been a better match to make it more spicier, Nikhil.
Absolutely, rain has added another dimension to this game. If it is a washout, which I don't think it will be, but if it is a washout, RCB goes through. RCB goes through because MI DC does get a point from the game, and they need 2 points to qualify. So I don't think that will happen, but it's a game of uncertainties. You can't predict the weather. Maybe the Bangalore fans have done, RCB fans have done some magic, and the clouds from Bangalore, where it's raining persistently, have traveled all the way to Mumbai. So it's going to be interesting. I hope rain stays away. I hope it's a decider based on merit, and let the better team win. Let's see.
Absolutely, and let's take a look at the playing 11s as well. Both the teams have made changes to their 11, so we'll flash the playing 11s in front of you. And under Rohit Sharma, this has been a forgettable season for Mumbai Indians. But the kind of young talent you see, Ishan Kishan, although he had a tough tournament this time around, he will be there among the top players for Mumbai Indians in the future. So will be Tilak Verma, who has been mighty impressive, and his name has started to come in the reckoning for the senior team as well, for the South Africa and Ireland T20I. So exciting talents there. Deval Brevis, another one who has been very impressive. We talked about Tim David as well. So a good squad, which will take some time to refine and get their groove back.
Absolutely. Verma, Brevis and David, these 3 I think are going to be the 3 musketeers, 3 stars with the bat for MI next season and the seasons to follow. And therefore, at least in the batting, Mumbai Indians has an exciting, group of players. Bowling, they need the mini auction, they need transfers, because they need support for Bumrah, they need some quality leg spinners. The bowling sort of needs to be revamped, but the batting looks talented for the years to come.
They banked on Jofra Archer, but Jofra Archer again has been ruled out for the entire season due to this time due to a lower back stress fracture.
Well, if you know, Jofra Archer is such a player who will win you matches and tournaments, but he'll also miss tournaments, and therefore it is a big risk always.
But a 2-year gap is a long gap in international top flight cricket.
Absolutely. So it remains to be seen whether he plays next year. If he doesn't, it's going to be a big problem because they're banking a lot on Jofra Archer.
Absolutely. Whether he plays or not, we'll get to know next season in IPL 2023. We'll take a look at the Delhi Capitals playing 11 as well. They have made one change and Prithvi Shaw is back in the 11. But Nikhil, more than Prithvi Shaw and David Warner, I'm thinking about that middle order. You know, Mitchell Marsh has been in good form, but what role will Sarfaraz Khan and you know Akshar Patel, Rohman Powell will have to play in that middle order?
Absolutely, Rohman Powell has already showed us what a destructive finisher he is. It's time that, you know, Sarfaraz Khan has also played well, but Sarfaraz Khan also now needs to produce cameos from the lower order. Akshar and Thakur need to produce some runs from the bat, because you can't only depend on Warner and Powell essentially. So Akshar played a good knock at the start of the tournament, but Akshar and Thakur need to at least contribute 20 to 30 runs between them, because there's not much batting to follow. So I think Delhi heavily dependent on the top four, on Warner, Shaw, Marsh and Pant. But they have some reserves lower down order should they fail.
And how much pressure will be on Rishabh Pant, because he has had a very indifferent tournament. He has been scoring at a good strike rate, but you know that game-changing knock, that single-handed match-winning knock hasn't come so far.
Also some controversies on and off the field. I think Rishabh Pant, you know, this is a big match. This will test his character, because this match is This match is like a knockout for them. If they lose, they're out. If they win, they're through. So how Rishabh Pant conducts his team, bowling changes, field placements, his own batting, can he raise his game, is going to define Rishabh Pant. It's going to maybe define and set him up for future captaincy of India.
Absolutely, and yes, it will be a test of character for not only Rishabh Pant but for the entire Delhi Capitals squad, because it is a must-win game for them. If they lose, they will miss out on a playoff spot. So a very high-pressure game for them. But we'll take a look at what happened when Delhi Capitals and Mumbai Indians both played each other in the last time around. Obviously, it has been a fascinating contest, head-to-head battle. But here we see the last encounter they had. Obviously it was the madness by Tilak Verma and Akshar Patel. It was the first match of the season for Delhi Capitals where the lower order just went hammer and tongs against them.
Absolutely, and there if you see, two things stand out for me. Prithvi Shaw's opening 38. So that came in quick time. Kuldeep Yadav, he was in form, and also Lalit Yadav, Akshar Patel. As I said, Akshar Patel produced a cameo at the start. This was the cameo at the start of the tournament, and DC sort of chased Mumbai Indians target down. So DC has had the wood over MI last 3 matches since 2021. It's been 3-0, and therefore for me they just have the edge in this match. But it's a pressure game and all the pressure on DC, so they have the edge but by very little margin.
And you see that Mumbai Indians scorecard, Ishan Kishan 81, Rohit Sharma 41. The duo started pretty well in this tournament but has tapered off completely. I mean, Ishan Kishan, when he scored that 81, we were talking about how the big price tag hasn't affected him, but it has taken a bit of a toll on him.
Absolutely, they started very well, and we thought Rohit Sharma's policy of going all out in the power play would work for MI also, but somehow then the form just dipped, and MI went from one low to the other, and this has been one of the worst seasons for any team in IPL history.
And Nikhil, we talked about the 2 Ks in that DC camp. You can see that
the Ks are here.
The Kuldeep Yadav and Khalil Ahmed, how they impacted the game last time around. They just destroyed the Mumbai Indians' batting lineup, picking up wickets for fun. And Khalil Ahmed, with all his injury record, he has still been very impressive among the wickets. 16 wickets in 9 matches has to be lauded.
Absolutely, and as I said, in the absence of Akshar Patel in the middle overs, he's been their main bowler in that phase of play, and in the absence of Andre Knocker with the new balls, Khalil Ahmed has been the main pacer, the main threat with the new ball. So Khalil Ahmed, an absolute revelation with the ball. Absolute
revelation with the ball, without a shadow of doubt. And Kuldeep Yadav with all his wickets, 20 wickets to his name, he's right in the reckoning for the South Africa and Ireland T20Is. The squad will be announced tomorrow, so we are expecting to see Kuldeep Yadav's name there, and maybe we might see a couple of surprises. Maybe whether Tilak Verma makes it to the squad or not, he's impressed. He has impressed captain Rohit Sharma and has impressed a couple of selectors as well. But whether it is too early or not for Tilak Verma, it remains to be seen, and the decision will be made tomorrow. We'll take a look at the head-to-head record between the two sides as well, Mumbai Indians and Delhi Capitals. Not a much to differentiate, not a much to divide these two teams. Has been very level-headed, but you know, Mumbai Indians, Delhi Capitals in front of Wankhede Stadium with rain. I don't think these head-to-head records will come into play.
I mean, not much. I mean, 15-16 is a very neck-to-neck record, Shobhan. But the only stat which matters is since 2021, Delhi have had the vote 3-0. But you know, it's a pressure game for Delhi, so therefore I think that head-to-head record doesn't sort of stand much. All the pressure on the Capitals to make the moves. They need to win this match. MI can chill. If they win, great. If they don't win, I mean, they haven't won anything in this tournament.
So we'll take a look at how the Wankhede Stadium is expected to play out today. Although it's a rain-affected match, and the Pacers might enjoy a bit of advantage in the initial overs. Whether Mumbai Indians' bowlers will be able to get that couple of wickets early, couple of wickets or not. But Delhi Capitals, they have lost 3 matches, Nikhil.
Absolutely. The tournament started being the venue started being a high-scoring one, and then you saw low totals batting first. Overall, you know, chasing advantage remains Shubhayan, 11 of 19 matches, but Delhi have lost 3 of their 4 matches at this venue. So which remains a concern.
And even MI have lost 2 matches out of 3.
Yeah, but MI has lost everywhere. So, but Delhi losing 3 of the 4 matches, I mean, not a good sign. 8 scores in excess of 180 batting first, majority of them in the first half at the venue. So, as I said, I'm expecting a total in the 170s for Delhi. I think it will barely be enough for to defend. I'm a little worried sort of with the rain around. If Duckworth Lewis comes into play, the pitch becomes easier to bat with after, you know, freshening up. So it's going to be interesting. I think Kuldeep Yadav, etc. will come into play.
Absolutely, and David Warner and Prithvi Shaw are out at the crease to open the innings for Delhi Capitals, and Daniel Sams have opened the opened the bowling for Mumbai Indians. Mumbai Indians Rohit Sharma had a long huddle chat before just walking out on the pitch, so pretty interesting dynamics for Mumbai Indians as well. They would look to end this tournament on a high, whereas Delhi Capitals, it's all about just one win and sealing that playoff spot. Nikhil, before we wrap up, Delhi Capitals, Mumbai Indians, what's your call?
You know, Mumbai is playing a full strength squad. I want to say Delhi Capitals, but I'm just a little worried. I think they'll score in the 170s, and it's going to be a last over finish.
Yeah, giving us all the humdingers in this
I don't know. I think
game.
Delhi Capital will win by a whisker in the last over.
Delhi Capitals will win by a whisker is what Nikhil is saying. They just need a win. It doesn't matter whether it comes in the last ball or in the 10th over. So Delhi Capitals, all they need is just to win. And for all those who are watching, don't forget to subscribe to News9 Sports and let us know which team you are supporting in this match between Mumbai Indians and Delhi Capitals. News9 Sports is where we are putting all our videos in English, be it about Indian Premier League, the Indian squad for the South Africa and Ireland to T20Is are going to be announced tomorrow, so we'll put out all the updates there as well, and of course from other sports as well. There's an exciting finish coming up in the Premier League. The Champions League final is there next week, so plenty of sporting action there, and we have got you all covered. So News9 Sports is your destination for all things sports. Thank you so much, Nikhil, for joining. It promises to be a fascinating contest, and we'll leave all our viewers with that Mumbai Indians versus DC encounter. Thank you so much for watching.